Recently, we were teaching. I trained the trainers, training practitioners of all kinds on the treatment solutions for adverse childhood experiences, the 12-question assessment, adverse adult experiences, 12-question assessment, positive childhood experiences assessment, 12 questions, adult positive, 12 questions, and the treatment solutions, not just the score, but also the category, and other questions like the age, how long it went on for, both the positive and the adverse. Because the treatment solutions are as unique as you. They're as unique as all of us. Even identical twins, even siblings. Yes, raised in the same family, different ages, different stages. We all go through all kinds of different adversities, stressors, difficulties, and you don't have to think of them as traumas. That's okay. It's not what you call them. It's more how you resolve and heal. That's the most important thing. Because it's not stress or trauma that causes all the medical problems or the years off your life or the cardiovascular, all of the different addictions. It's if they're treated and resolved successfully. Now, it took Dr. Fletty and I decades to learn more about how to help people help themselves, thanks to all the people that we collaborated with and taught us more than we really taught them. Yes, you know about our losers group. We didn't like that name, but that's what they called themselves. For 4 years, we met a group of people who nothing had worked, so they called themselves a losers group. For their addictions, for their medical problems, their stress, their weight, whatever it was. And on those 4 years, meeting on a regular basis, they discovered what will work, and they all heard from each other what wouldn't work and hasn't worked and didn't work. And they started to discover collaboratively with us lots of techniques, lots of the skills in the Enlightn app we taught in the group to help people discover their own inner resources for dealing with difficult times, stress, trauma, family trauma, even if it's not yours, siblings, parents. Everybody has traumas and difficulties and stresses. In fact, at the workshop, at the training, we asked, is there anybody here who hasn't had any ACEs or any other traumas at difficult times in their life? And a few people said, well, difficult times, stress, we've all had that. Traumas, I'm not sure how you define trauma. And then somebody else asked in the group, well, what about your parents? Did they ever go through any difficult times, stress, traumas? And everybody started to nod when they thought about what their parents had to do to give them the life that they have, and even what their parents went through. Sometimes that intergenerational repeating the same patterns, so the ACEs, the adverse life experiences, get passed on. So we learned a lot in our losers group. By the way, they changed their name at the very end, thankfully, to a much more positive name. And you can imagine what it is, the opposite of losers. In the training, we learned a lot. We love teaching people how to utilize their adverse experiences as bridges, as resources, turning problems into resources, negatives into positive. It takes a lot of inner healing. You have to embrace all your emotions. As you know, I call them all the rings of the tree. You have to support and reassure and figure out a way to collaborate with that inner critic, inner judge that seems so impossible. No choice. And you have to be able to tap into your unconscious, your inner wisdom, what Dr. Fletty calls the inner doctor, because of the successes he had dealing with his own ACEs. And I call it the inner doctor because of the success I had and still have dealing with my own ACEs. And we've made videos about this as well, and we talk about it in the training. So most important, it's important that you know, whether it's ACEs or stress or trauma or difficulties, your parents, your family's yours, it's the unresolved that are the problems. So you have resources right here in this post. There's a wonderful podcast that you can watch where you will learn something new for sure. It's impossible you won't learn something new in that podcast because there's so many techniques that we share from the Enlightn app, from the groups, from all the people that have helped us figure out what would help them, help the other people, help us too. So please connect, please share, and we look forward to our book coming out in all the bookstores. You'll see it. Every bookstore, you can pre-order it now, From Trauma to Enlightenment. You can order the deck, the cards that we developed during the ACE study and afterwards. You can get Less Stress for Kids because kids need help. We know that. Teens, university students. There's programs and resources of how to help people deal with the difficult situations immediately and long term in ways that are safe, enjoyable, positive, and very healing inside now.